Cheers. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We have Archer here.
Hello.
Yeah, the reason why I wanted to interview Archer is because he does some amazing photos with landscapes, and he pretty much does it all, but that's what he's known for. It's an honor for me to interview you. So as far as landscape photography is concerned, who or what got you interested?
The first person I saw that I wanted to emulate, that I still follow his stuff, I love him, is Randy J Braun, who does landscape. Now he works for DJI. He's awesome, and I just moved. I wasn't into photography. I've only been shooting for maybe 7 years now. A friend of mine, a guest actually, she's like, you got to go up to this gallery up in Makawa. I was in Lahaina at the time. And she's like, you got to see this guy's stuff. And I drove up to Makawa, and I went to the gallery, and I saw stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, this stuff is, I love it. Like his use of light and a little bit long exposure stuff. Like it's like, this is exactly how I see things. So I'm like, this is totally who I want to be, you know. And so definitely Randy J Braun is one of my biggest influencers. Hi, what's up? This is Max. Yeah, Randy J Braun. A friend of mine, Chris King, and from Seattle. He's taught me a lot, like basic things that I didn't understand, like even just storing photos and the way to file them so that you can find them later. But he's awesome photographer. Definitely my mentor, I guess would be.
Landscape's kind of the way you started then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually was night photography. Like that's what originally inspired it. Ironically, I was like anti-photo. I didn't want to live my life through a viewfinder was the joke with my friend. And now I'm into photography. But I was camping in Kipahulu, and we were like laying on blankets, and I saw the Milky Way. Man, and like I'm looking, I'm like, that's the Milky Way. I never saw this before. If I found a picture on the internet, and I sent it to my mom, like, hey, this is the Milky Way. She's never gonna believe it. So I'm like, if I take the photo and I figure out how to do this, like, then I want the photo for myself. But I'm just laying there, and there's like one palm tree in the Milky Way. I'm like, this is so cool. If I take the photo and send it to her, she'll believe that it's real. Otherwise, she's not gonna believe it's real. And so I like started researching, and one of the guys at the gym was talking about photos, and he showed me this Milky Way shot. I'm like, where did you get this? He's like, I took that. I'm like, how did you take it? He's like, you got to have good gear, you know, like you can't just use your phone or something, you know. And so he kind of guided me. You start with this one and build your way up. And I love the night stuff. It's fascinating, especially time lapse, to see it, you know, that we're spinning, you know, but that you see it through the sky. I have no problem staying up till 5 a.m. shooting time lapses, you know, like no big deal. Yeah, I have a lot, which I shot for IMAX last year, which comes out next month, which I'm pretty excited about. Yeah, the landscape stuff, it slows me down, and like it'll take a long time sometimes just to get one shot. I'm cool with shooting for 2 hours to get one photo. It's therapeutic, I guess.
You come in with an idea, or you kind of come into the scene and...
Sometimes what I found is that if I have an idea in my head, like, oh, I want to shoot the cliffs in Kaupo or something, it never really works out. Like something that'd be too windy, or, you know, just all the variables. So I try to have an idea, an area to go to, and then kind of just see what catches my eye. If I'm just thinking about the one photo, I'll just drive right past something else, like, I'll get that later. And if you're a landscape photographer, if you see something where the light is on it and just looks perfect, turn around, go back, shoot it, because it's never the same. And I've learned that the hard way, like, well, I'll just shoot it next time, or I'll come over. No, you gotta do it now. So if I'm too tunnel vision on a shot, I'll find myself skipping things. And if I'm more open to it, no time schedule, then I'll just be looking for everything. Like with the drone, like, oh, this looks cool, like stop, send it up. If you get the shot, cool. If you don't, no big deal. But I don't regret not trying if I go for it, you know. So that's, if you see something, go for it. That's for sure, because you can't replicate nature, like, you know. Yeah. Oh, the gold in the hills and the just right. Yeah, maybe you'll get lucky, but capitalize when you see it. With landscapes, especially like that last hour of the day when sunset, that light changes every minute, you know. And so I'll go out and start shooting, and I'll shoot till 20 minutes after sunset, because the color's different and everything. You gotta be constant, learn your camera, know how to adjust your camera, shoot manual all the time, and then just constantly adjusting everything and then all of a sudden 10 minutes after sunset I get the shot I'm looking for that I've been shooting for 2 hours, like bam, got it. And then once in a while you'll see it, and I look in the screen, like, and I'll smile, like, oh man, did I take that? That's pretty sweet. It's pretty rare, but it's pretty cool.
Oh, I love those moments.
It's pretty good, yeah. If it wasn't mine, I saw it like, wow, that's a great photo. And to me, I'm like, oh, this is a little out of focus, you know. But yeah, there's, you know, once in a while, and it just makes my whole day. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Nice.
you know, it makes me really proud.
Earlier, you kind of touched upon, you know, the guy in the gym telling you got to get good gear.
Yeah.
You mind talking about what you use?
I shoot all Nikon right now. I've used some Hasselblad film stuff before, but on Nikon, my go-to for photos right now is the D850. You know, I have 2 of those. My time lapses, I like the D810. I shoot Zeiss and I shoot Nikon lenses. The Zeiss is so worth the money. The color on them is perfect. I have a 15 millimeter that's super wide, f2.8 manual focus. It's just right off the camera. It's just beautiful. Like I don't have to do really anything to it. And then for architecture and commercial stuff, it's super square. As long as I have it level, every line is, I can take a picture of a rectangle and it's going to be perfect.
Oh, wow.
There's no bowing whatsoever. I like macro. I just got into macro this year, 7200, which I love. It's nice to have that, because when you're shooting wide, everything's really far away. And so to have that reach, it's pretty sweet. And then the macro, I guess 60 mil.
And I've seen some of your macro stuff. You say you just got into it.
I wanted to, and it sounds silly, but I saw some like eye photos, macro eye stuff, and it's just mind-blowing, like how much is going on in people's eyes. And then I started noticing, you know, people I work with, like, I'm like, oh, that's your eye, like, and I haven't gotten the shot yet because it takes, you know, patience. I'm like, I need to do this. So I literally hit up my buddy Chris King, like, dude, like, I want to get this eye. Like, show him a picture of the eye, like, I want to get this. He's like, probably gonna go, you're gonna need the Zeiss 100 millimeter. The macros, it's really fascinating. So if I'm ever I'm out shooting and I don't have a necessary game plan, and I kind of get stagnant, like, I'll just literally switch lens to a different lens. I'll switch to a zoom, or I'll switch to a macro. I'll just completely switch gears, and then things just pop up. And I just start seeing things. I just love taking photos, so it's pretty, the macro stuff is fun for food. I just got into food stuff recently. I kind of love it. It's really fun. I'm very patient, and I'm very, I don't want to say methodical, but I don't mind taking an hour to get one photo. The portrait stuff that I do, I like the shadow play of a single light and a, you know, dark background, and I just try to be different. I try to not do what I've seen before. You can have this coffee mug, like take a photo of this coffee mug, like, okay, how can I make it where you've never seen a photo like this of a coffee mug? I do that with landscape too. Okay, if a tourist came up here with a camera phone, and it would look like what? What's the opposite of that? How do I make it look like it's not like that? Is kind of a goal of mine. Like, I'm always on a tripod. I like long exposure. I like dark filters on it and play with it. Like, I'll get inspired by other people's stuff, but then like, how do I take it another step, you know? I just did like a mentorship for this kid. He was a senior, you know, and I'm just giving him all the information out, you know, everything I can, like, this is how you do this is how you do this, and he's like, oh yeah, he was a super great kid. I want this kid to be my competition. I want him to go and like hit me up. He has hit me up since, how do you do this? Like, this is how you do it, you know, like, I taught him, like, use my stuff, whatever. I want him to push me. I'm not a hater, man. If somebody's better than me, I'll go right to the person that's like, dude, you're the man. Like, when it comes to model stuff, I can't touch you. You're awesome. You're the best, you know. And if there's a landscape guy that's killing it, awesome. You know, there's Aaron Bigwood is a friend of mine, and he went to Muller Ramp and he got the shot, and it's sick. It's better than anything I've shot. I'm like, dude, you're crushing it with this thing. I want everybody to be awesome and the best they can. If I have some knowledge that you want, just hit me up, just message me. If it's some Instagram person from somewhere else that I've never even seen anything from, hey, what'd you use and how'd you do this? Like, practice, bro. You know, like,
Yeah. Hit them up, guys. As a portrait shooter, I've always looked at it as, oh yeah, you just stand there, click, you know, like what people think we do for portraits.
Right.
But I definitely have a new appreciation for it, you know, and hopefully you guys do too, because it's not just throwing it on the tripod and then clicking. You got lots of different factors to consider.
Yeah.
Time of day, you know, for example.
And how you frame it.
Yeah.
You need that leading line, something to make your eye like travel through something. The photos that I like, if I scroll through photos, I'm like, I see something, oh wow, this is a really good photo, and I look at it for a minute. It usually has like multiple components that catch your eye.
In my opinion, I think what you do is a lot harder because it takes longer, right, to get the shot. You have to think more. Whereas I'm just kind of letting the girl do their thing, and I'm like, you know,
You're sitting in the beach chair, yeah, right. Put your hand up, drinking coffee.
My wife has gotten BTS of me just sitting down, because they're doing everything. But yeah, the reason why I want to mention this is because so much goes into what he does. It's not easy. It takes a lot more work than you think, and I'm just hoping, you know, you guys learn to appreciate what you do and what other landscape photographers do. You're open to having people hit you up with questions. What's one of the first advice you would give somebody starting out?
One thing I definitely advocate of when I tell, like, I got friends that shoot or people starting to shoot, is right off the box, right as soon as you get your camera out, put it on manual. Is if you learn how to use the camera, and then you learn what the camera's capable of, and then you know how to adjust it, it's pretty simple. It's your ISO, your aperture, your shutter speed, and your white balance, those 4 things. You learn how to adjust them easily and understand what they do. It changes everything. Like, you walk up and something is really difficult. I get spots where I'm like, man, this is a tough shot. It makes me really think, like, what am I gonna do? But it's all on camera. If you know how your camera works, you're gonna be ahead of 90% of people, because a lot of people just auto. I know people with $5,000 camera setups, and they're like, I don't even know how to do that. Like, you're on auto. Like, don't skimp on your glass. You can have a $10,000 camera and a $5,000 lens, and you put a $50 filter on it. What I've read is that your photo is only going to be as good as the cheapest piece of glass. So you put a $50 filter that you got on Amazon on that, you might as well just be shooting with your phone, because it's probably going to come out, because it really makes a difference. So I try to make sure that all my filters, all my stuff is the best. It's expensive. Thousands in filters. Cheap, each one's $300. But then I get that difficult shot. It's like super bright tree and this with bright sky or dark whatever. I can put a grad filter on it, darken this a little bit, stack them if I need to. It's just a challenge to me. Like, even if the photo is not that cool and I never use it, I take literally like easily 400 or 500 shots to get 3.
Now, if you were to go back in time and you're standing in front of young Archer, what advice would you give yourself?
I've been asked this one before. Get a camera sooner. Like, I didn't get I just got a camera 7 years ago. Like, literally, like right about 7 years. In a couple months, it'll be 7 years since I got my first camera. I've been to a lot of places before, and all, pretty much all over the country for the most part. Get a camera sooner. I wish I'd known. I'm an artist, so I draw, and then I moved here and I stopped drawing because everything's color. And I learned if I switch a photo into black and white, I kind of want to draw it. But when I color, I don't see it. Learn lighting. I guess it was young me, the first thing I'd tell me was like, learn light. I didn't realize how being able to shape it and use it and when, how, and the importance of it would be something I've learned just recently, the past couple years maybe, where I'm like, okay, they said if you got a budget and you have $2,000, spend $1,500 on the lighting and $500 on the camera, and you're going to get a better photo than if you spent $1,500 on the camera and $500 on your lighting. It's what it is, and it's totally right. Learn lighting. Get out there, just keep shooting. Don't pass up on those chances when you see that. That's probably my best advice. Yeah. You see that thing and you get that shot, because you may not get the second one. Tomorrow's not promised to anybody. Same with photos. You can drive by and you see the perfect setting and be like, that's all right, I'm going to go get a Pokeball. No, stop and get the Pokeball afterwards, like whatever. Because there's so many times, I'll go shoot this again. And then the tree's gone. Yeah. I can never get that shot again because that tree fell. Trim the grass that made it cool. There's all the things. Like, if you see something, go for it. You won't regret, even if you don't get the shot that you really want, you won't regret not trying, which is kind of the same with everything in life. You miss all the shots you don't take, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. For the visitors who are interested in workshops, is that something you do as well?
It's not really. I'm busy, for one. Like, I'm busy at work. I'm bartend, and I take it seriously too. I can't half-ass shit.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 days off, and that's my me time. Jaws is firing. I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna go where there's nobody, because that's why I like photography, is to get away from people. And nothing against people, but it's very calming and relaxing, and it's the opposite of what I do for a living. I don't usually do tours. I do have people that I've met over the years that, regulars come back. We want to go see Haleakala sunset. Like, cool. What I found is if I take people that are photographers, I end up taking nothing, and I'm just like helping, and then I'm like, I didn't get any photos today. So I'm usually pretty solo, but I have with people that want to learn, and I'm down to teach generally, but I don't really do tours. Like, I've had people like, hey, we'll pay you to do the road to Han and show us all these spots. Like, no, I'd rather go by myself, but no offense, If you want to learn some stuff, yeah, like, I've had people come over, a kid from my school came over, I taught him everything I know. I'm like, I'm going to save you 7 years of practice or 7 years of learning, and Google, like, here. And the kid was already really good. I'm open, man. If you have a question, hit me up. I'm not shy about it. I'm not trying to, like, guard secrets, because all stuff I learned on the internet anyway, so
Yeah.
you can Google it too.
For you guys who are interested in workshops, you're out of luck. But he's more than happy to share his techniques and stuff and answer your questions. So definitely hit him up. And then lastly, where can they find your work if they want to buy, you know, prints and stuff?
Yeah, I have a website, but it's kind of outdated. I use it just to funnel. I had some stuff go viral a little bit, and so I needed a funnel for. So it's got some older stuff on there, not a big variety. Most of all my sales is through Instagram. People DM me, hey, I want this photo. What size you want? Oh, I want this big. Okay, how much? And I have most prices right on my, unless it's a custom size. I live in the UK. Like, cool. I can get it there. It's gonna be another $180 in shipping, and
Nice.
sweet in the ship. You know, I've shipped all over. Yeah, you know, South America, Europe,
Wow.
the United States, Detroit. You know, be patient. If it's sunset, probably won't get back to you for a little bit. I only get 2 loads a week, so
Nice.
just hit me up. I answer everybody. I think, you know, I think so. If you have a comment like, oh, I love this. How much for this big? I'll get it to you. It'll be there in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, right to your house, ready to hang.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all the questions I had for you.
Shoot.
Anything you want to add before we wrap?
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Oh.
You're killing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
like
you.
I love your photos, man. They're perfect, and so I can't do what you do, in my opinion. Like, you know, it just you mastered light, and that's the tricky part of it. You can go to the beach with the prettiest girl, and perfect sunset. Doesn't mean you're gonna get a great shot unless you know what you're doing, and this guy knows what he's doing. So
That's
I need to learn
funny.
from you.
It's funny because I'm looking at his stuff and I'm like, yeah, I can't do that.
That's how we get better, you know.
Yeah.
It's all a process, and nobody picked up a camera and just knew how to use it and just started crushing the game. Like, they all started somewhere. They all asked, you know. Thank God for Google. Like, I grew up with
yeah.
Google. It's like, oh, this is awesome. Anything you have a question for, you can find out. You're like, oh, how do you get the really silky water? It looks like fog. Google it. Well, long exposure. You need a dark filter. The Lee 10 stop is a nice one. It's super dark. You can't even see through it. You have to like shoot through it. It's
Wow.
It's like, I used to be a welder. Like, it's like welding. Like, you can't see through it.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at the sun, you might see a dot, but and so your camera has to search through that in that long exposure, and then that water that moves and moves and moves and moves, then it becomes like an average of all that. I love that stuff, but it takes patience, because you're gonna shoot for a minute and then you see it, you're like, oh, that sucked, hold on, and you adjust and then you shoot again. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, all right. It'll take you 10 minutes to get one photo that you like, and then you can just start moving around and shooting. You know, just be patient, and learn. Just keep trying to learn, because I have a long way to go. Like, I know 1/10 of what I want to know about photography, so
Oh yeah.
it's just read books. Ansel Adams is a great one for landscape stuff. Chris King, hit him up. Just blow his phone up. He'll love it. He'll love that. Got you, Chris. He's awesome. Good dude. And he'll be out here. Hit him up if you want to shoot, because he'll be out here. He did some stuff with Paige Helms last year, underwater.
Oh, nice.
Brand new Canon Mark dive housing. Went out there, filled full of water.
Oh.
Brand new. Like, it was weeks old, 2 weeks old.
Oh, that hurts.
And Canon hooked him up. They sent him a replacement and did the whole thing. Like,
Wow.
he was sad. I felt so bad for him. And it was all sealed. He put it in the tub and it was fine. And he went out once he got like 30 feet under. He was like, dude, it just got heavy. And I freaked out. Like, oh my God, I'd be heartbroken. That's why I don't do underwater stuff. I would be so sad. I love my cameras. I'd be so sad if they're filled full of water.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have today. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to pretend like it's a TV show. No, but seriously,
We're gonna go to our sponsor.
It'll be like my empty wallet.
Sponsored by coffee. Any coffee.
Yes. But thank you so much again for your time.
pleasure, man. My pleasure. Anytime.
And I know a lot of you guys are gonna appreciate it. So hit them up.
Yeah.
You know,
Archershoots.
Hell yeah. Get it.
Shoot.
All right.
Aloha.
Peace. Thank you.